Hi dear students, let's see this question that was asked in JEE Advanced Paper-2 2020 Physics. The question is very simple, based on multiple choice correct marking scheme, but because of one particular option, that is option A, there's slight ambiguity in this, and that too not because of physics but because of English. So let us see what is happening over here. There's a particle which is moving on a parabolic path in the xy plane. The parabola has been given, that is the equation of trajectory. It starts from t equals to 0 from the origin at a speed of 1 meter per second square. The accelerations along x and y have been represented by the variables ax and ay respectively. So basically, if we have been given some options and we have to check some options like ax equals to 1 implies ay equals to 1, ax equals to 0 implies ay equals to 1 and all that. So let's do basic analysis first. So the equation of trajectory is y is equals to x square by 2. So if you differentiate this with respect to time, dy by dt, which will become velocity in y, will become 2x into dx by dt. 2 will cancel out with the denominator. So we're going to get x into dx by dt, which is nothing but velocity in x. One more differentiation of this is going to give us ay is equals to x into derivative of vx, which is acceleration in x, plus vx into derivative of x, which is again vx. So this will become vx square, right? Now, if you go back to option 1, ax equals to 1 implies ay equals to 1. So when the particle starts, when it is at origin, so we can say that if you put x equals to 0 over here, so that means when the particle has started, so at x equals to 0, we can say Vy was 0, right? So since Vy was 0, so we can say that, if you go back to option 1, ax equals to 1 implies that when the particle is at origin, ay will be equals to 1 meter per second square. So since Vy is 0, so we can say that, Vx will become 1. Why Vx will become 1? Because total speed has been given 1 meter per second. So Vy equals to 0, so that means Vx will become 1. Hence, ay value becomes, if you at origin, ay becomes 1 because Vx is 1 and at origin x is 0. So that is why this option is slightly ambiguous, because here it is saying that ax equals to 1 implies that ay will become 1 at origin. But if you see, I am not even concerned about the value of ax. Whatever is the value of ax, ay is certainly 1 at origin, right? On the other hand, here they're saying that ax equals to 1 implies that at origin ay equals to 1. But rather the truth is that ay will be equals to 1 at origin irrespective of the value of ax. Hence option A was slightly ambiguous. Had I been in the exam, I would have played safe and not marked option A. That is the take that I would have done. Anyway, moving ahead, ax equals to 0 implies ay equals to 1 at all times. This is perfectly fine. If you put ax equals to 0, which will imply Vx is constant. We have already seen that at origin Vx key value is 1. So if Vx is constant, that means Vx will always be 1. So if you put this values in this equation number 2, let us say, and this is equation number 1. So in equation number 2, if you put, so Ax is 0, so this will become 0 and Vx will become 1. So this will become 1. So Ay will become 1. Hence, Ax equals to 0 implies Ay equals to 1. So option B was right, in my opinion. At t equals to 0, particles velocity points in x direction. This of course is correct because we have already seen that x equals to 0, at t equals to 0 particle was at origin, and at t equals to 0 the velocity in y is 0, hence its velocity is totally in x direction. So of course option C is also right. Option D, ax equals to 0 implies that at t equals to 1 the angle between the particle's velocity and the x-axis is 45 degree. Again, this is a fairly simple option. Since x is 0 implies velocity in x must have become constant, which is 1 meter per second square. So we can say that at t equals to 1, particle must have reached x equals to 1 because its velocity is constant and it is moving at 1 meter per second square, right? So at t equals to 1, x is 1. So we can say that Vy has become 1 into 1 because x is also 1 and Vx is also 1. So we can say Vy has become 1 meter per second. So at t equals to 1, Vy is also 1 and Vx is also 1. Hence, velocity is making an angle of 45 degree with the x-axis, right? So this is also is option D is also right. So as I said, option A is slightly ambiguous. In exam, I would have preferred not getting it right. That means, playing safe. Like like I'll say ki, it's more wise to not get one extra mark than to lose -2. So you will be losing on 5 marks rather instead of gaining one extra mark. So that was my take. So I hope you would have enjoyed this solution. Thank you.